Namaste, Jai Gurudev. My name is Shakti Premanand and I am from Yoga I Am. And today we're talking a question and answer session on conscious relationships. So if anyone has any questions on conscious relationships, Namaste, Evolution Therapies, we're talking on conscious relationships. If you have any questions on that, okay, bye. So we'll wait for a few more and see if anyone else wants to join in on conscious relationships. Good evening, Tracy. We're talking on conscious relationships. It's a question and answer session. So if you have anything, burning question on it, or you want to participate and join in, or do you just want to listen, just give me a hi. Okay, so do you have a question on it, Tracy? On conscious relationships? Is there anything specific? Okay. So is that an okay yes, as in no, you don't have a question? Or okay, you have a question? Nope. Okay, I don't want to put you in the spot anyhow. Clearly, if you had had one, you would have asked by now. Okay, so conscious relationships. I'll give a little bit of a brief, like what it is that differentiates a conscious relationship from an ordinary relationship. It's an act and it's a commitment to basically be present to the other's service, for the service of the other in terms of growing and evolving spiritually. And that whatever comes in the course of that relationship is for that goal, with that aim in mind. Okay, great. So I'm going to be answering your curiosity then, Tracy. So the conscious aim of a conscious relationship is to be with another human being, and in that interaction and engagement from doing life together and as partners, it's to actually evolve and grow and to be in service of the other. So when the other is going off one, or you're going off one, then you don't just walk away from it. You actually look in what is the cause and the catalyst, and you have the communication. So the communication is fundamental in a conscious relationship, and it's not to judge, and it's not to make the other person feel wrong. It's to really have the safety, which is where the commitment and being available for that growth. These are the two intrinsic prerequisites before you can engage in the conscious relationships. Because mindful presence, yes, but mindful presence one can do with oneself alone. Here you actually engaging with another human being in service of the other. So you are in that relationship to serve one another, literally. In fact, in the India, even in the Vedas, and you will see that there's a consort. Yeah, there is the feminine and the masculine, and they really worship them as gods and goddesses. It's a relationship between a god and a goddess. I don't know why that ever went away. And even now they traditionally call them deva. The husband is a deva, but somehow the devi got lost somewhere. She just so it's really about bringing that godliness into the relationship, and recognizing that in our engagement, recognizing that we're both in growth and evolving, and being available and in service of it. That takes the first position, rather than the transactional basis of a relationship, where people, maybe women in particular, are looking for security from a man, or a man maybe look for a sexual potential in a woman. I'm not saying that either one of these is wrong, by the way, but they're not the number one priority in the case of a conscious relationship. In the conscious relationship, it's to evolve, to grow with one another, and being in service of, and that there's a commitment, and there's a communication channel that is always available. So it requires a lot of courage and a lot of soul searching, and your triggers certainly will come up, and one has to be available to address them as they come up in the relationship. Would you like to come on board, Tracy? Would you like to have an interactive session? You want to come on board live with me? Is that a no? Is that a yes? Have I answered your curiosity? Namaste. Not sure. Okay, well, do please ask if you have any more questions then, Tracy, because then there isn't more that I can say really other than that. That we have got a sample of a question and answer session where we engaged in it, and we've got some YouTube clips as well, which will help you to give the remit of it. But basically, it's the one self transcending into reality. So it's about two people coming together as one, and so there's a work that needs to get done. Being shy, yes, you have. Okay. No need to feel shy. We're just all here to support one another, especially in these times of COVID. So we have Concord the Exotic Voyages joined us. Well, that's a fantastic title. I presume you do some adventurous trips or something, is it? But welcome. Welcome to find out about conscious relationships. And if I can ask, if you have any questions, please write it down. Concord Voyage Exploration, I think. Bambi Sevji joined us also. Thank you for joining. Namaste. And if there is any questions that you have, please write them on what is a conscious relationship and what does it mean to you, and how can this session here, interactive session, assist you in your life, in your relationships with anyone. That can be romantically, or it can be a partner, or however, it can be even in a business sense. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a romantic sense. So, conscious relationships. Bambi, are you still with us? Does anybody want to volunteer what they perceive it to be by writing it down? These question and answer sessions live are always a little bit of an enigma. I think it's very slow, isn't it, for people to get enrolled on it. And we have started a little bit early because it's supposed to start at 7. But there you go. So I don't know who's here and who has any questions still on what is consciousness and what is conscious relating. If so, please ask, because I'm not going to be speaking without any questions and answers. Ganesh Kevin, namaste, namaste, namaste. Note of learning from each other. Yes, it is learning, but one is always learning. This is a learning with a goal in mind of evolving the spirit dimension. Yeah, so it's in service of actually awakening one another. So yeah, of learning from each other. Yeah, and sometimes it's not even learning, it's just being present. I think in a relationship we don't want to try to pretend we have all of the answers when we don't. So it's about being present. It's about being present. Why are you in this relationship? You're in this relationship to awaken each other and be in service of that wider sense. Yes, growth spiritually, correct. That would be correct, yes. Tracy. And often we do the spiritual journey alone, or we do it with our gurus, or in ashrams. And so, but here, because we are about conscious living, it's about really being alive to our lives. So you don't have to go away to India or anywhere else, or South America, or to find yourself, or go into a cave. I mean, I had to do all of this journey, so I speak from experience, and hence I brought this possibility that let's do our life. And this was how it was originally intended, actually, from the lineage that I'm a part of, which is the Kriya Yoga tradition. It's very much about being alive and present in your life, and so it's available to householders and couples and working people to awaken. Not to stop your life, so you can carry on with your life and you can work at your spirit also. Where are you from, Tracy? Where are you from, Tracy? You're still learning to find out what works, and my family involved. Well, a mindset too. Yes, it's all of those things, of course. It's conscious. It is like consciousness is you must manage your mind. I mean, that's yoga. There are tools. You need a toolkit behind the conscious relationship. It doesn't just happen by words and by thinking. So you need the toolkit behind you in order to access your consciousness and then to behave in consciousness with another human being. So it doesn't just happen, but the other person is your ally, is your guru, is your god or your goddess in the relationship. Hello, Raj. He came and he went, I think. So you have an ally, and but the ally is only as good as the extent that you're allowing yourself to communicate and be vulnerable and be open and authentic and be all colors, from rage to anger to love to intimacy to sexuality. It has helped with working with my elderly parents. It's challenging for me. Yeah, I can imagine. So you're already being in service there, and you're offering unconditional love already. So you obviously are very ripe, and you already are probably doing a lot of the work, I should think also. Yeah, meditation. Yeah, and being alive to meditation. So in conscious relationships, the meditation is happening in the relationship. You're not just sitting for that half an hour, 20 minutes. It's constant. So you're constantly awake. You're present to the awareness all of the time. Yeah, that's why it's only helping you some of the time, because then when you enter your life, then hello, Lil Pleasure, because when you enter your life, then you're bringing that into it, but it's like one forgets that the awareness of who you are. So it's that constant ongoing reminder. And so when you've made that commitment to another human being that I'm in conscious relationship with you, it's a constant reminder. It's a constant reminder that I am spirit and that you are my God and I'm the goddess, and together we are waking up to that possibility together, and that everything we do is in service of that. Isn't that beautiful to be able to create that with someone, another human being, and be totally loved up and be present to life itself? So who else is that? Is Lil Pleasure, is it, I think? You have any questions on conscious relationships? So I'm only answering questions. I'm not giving a whole spiel on it. So if you don't ask, then I will not be able to answer you. Yes, I am. Helps, Sam. Yes, I am. Yes, I'm not sure what you're saying yes to, Tracy, but I'm happy for you. Well done. So if anyone else has any questions specifically on conscious relationships, on any aspect of that, please write it down so I can then help you work through that. Lots of love. Thank you, Tracy. Bless you. So anyone else has any questions on PV Boomer? Namaste. Jai Gurudev. PV Boomer, we are talking on conscious relationships. You have any questions for us that we can answer and address? Because I'm only doing a question and answer session here. So, no questions, thanks, and namaste. You are most welcome. So, anyone, PV Boomer, where are you from? Where are you from? Nobody wants to talk. You're all so shy. What is this Instagram? Why is this everyone so shy? I thought everyone was like really open. Come on, guys. I was then going to have to close the session if no one's coming on board and asking. This is for you. Okay, we'll close the session then. There's no one here. Oh.